Countdown to Kickoff is brought to you and supported by Saltire Energy, the global market leader in specialist drilling equipment rental. And also by Craig International, a truly global company with 10 offices strategically placed around the world. The future of global procurement is right here. The Dons are back at Pittodrie. It's been a long 2 weeks since Aberdeen beat Motherwell, and the search for a new manager continues. Meanwhile, Peter Leven takes charge of Aberdeen for their Scottish Premiership match against Ross County tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. Here's a gentle reminder of the table for you. So if Aberdeen were to beat Ross County, obviously it will put clear daylight between them and us. If Motherwell, who host St Mirren, were to drop points, we would go above them. St Johnstone play host to Dundee, and Livingston, they will play Celtic on Sunday afternoon. Hi everybody, how are you doing? A very happy Easter and a very warm welcome back to the studio here on ABTV on YouTube. It's great to be back after a couple of weeks, and my goodness, it's never a dull moment, is it? Deary me. So obviously the big news that came out of the football club this week was the interview that Alan Burrows gave to Malcolm Panton on Red TV to bring us up to speed with what is happening with the appointment of our new manager. So just to sort of paraphrase a few things, just as a few pointers, he said that entering the very final stages of appointing the new manager, he said it was absolutely important to get this appointment right rather than quick, and that hopefully that the process won't take too much longer. So I watched the interview. I didn't have too many issues with it, I got to be honest. But this is what I'm starting to think. And it's just me thinking. That's all it is. And I'm not playing skullduggery here or setting tongues wagging. It's just roughly what I think. So after they appointed Neil Warnock, because obviously the plan was to put him in charge until the end of the season to give the club plenty of time. But I'm wondering, and I'm only wondering, if they took their eye off the ball when Neil was appointed. And when he left, the board were completely caught unaware and with their pants down. And all of a sudden, it left them scrambling around to then try and find or try and source and identify who they wanted to be the new manager of the football club. So Alan is absolutely correct. I've said it, that they need to take their time to get the appointment right. It was interesting that he came out and said that they made the mistake about putting the statements out, which, I've said it to you on here before, it was badly advised in my opinion, badly written, but it is what it is. It does stink a little bit of a car crash, but we just have to wait and see. We just have to remain patient, get behind the team as we always will and always do, because tomorrow's game is a huge game, massive game against Ross County. And if we are in a position to put clear daylight between ourselves and them, I think it will only breed nothing but confidence going forward. I felt the international break came just at the wrong time, just as we got the win against Motherwell. But Peter Leven, who we'll hear from in just a moment, but we won't hear from him. I've picked out some of his points from the press conference. He's taken the team since Monday. He was told by Alan Burrows and by Stephen Gunn that him and the coaches would take the team for Saturday's game. And from what he was saying during the press conference, they've obviously had a pretty decent week. So thank you for leaving your messages and your comments and your thoughts on my social media pages as always. I'll get to them very, very soon. And thank you for your continued support. The subscription numbers are rising every week. The viewing figures are absolutely fantastic and have remained steady even during the international break as well. And I'm really delighted that you're enjoying the quickfire question and answer sessions with the ex-players. So yeah, we keep going, we keep building, and we keep building momentum here on ABTV as well. Right, so to begin, I'm going to predict the team as I always do on a Friday evening. Let's have a quick look. This is roughly what I think Peter will do tomorrow. So, I think a 4-2-3-1 formation. Jack at left back, Angus and Stefan in the middle with Nicky out on the right. And then I think Graham and Connor will play just in front of the back four. And then in front of them, I think Junior Hoylett will start. I beg your pardon, Junior Hoylett. I think he'll start with Leighton Clarkson. It could be Leighton or Killian Phillips. Jamie McGrath out on the right. Again, you could argue the toss that maybe Duke will come in, but Bojan will definitely start. That is for sure. So that's roughly what I think he will do. But you never know. I could be completely wrong, and I probably will be. Right, so I'm going to clear the timeline for you because I've got a number of different items that I want to get in for tonight's show so that you can take a look. And I promised to bring you Peter Leven. So I don't know if you caught his pre-match press conference. Again, he spoke very, very well, very passionately about where the football club are and, you know, what they've been working on this week. I've picked out a couple of his quotes from that. I want to get the pick of the stats in for you as well. And then just some housekeeping stuff, which I hope you will find of interest. Yes, I mustn't forget about this, because this is important. I'll get those guys in there, and we'll get this in as well. A couple more things to put in, then I'm almost done. Okay, and we'll get to the last thing in just a moment. Right, so Peter Leven. He said, I've tried to take the pressure off them. Pressure can blur your football vision. We've got very good football players in this team. We've got to bring that tomorrow. Yes, they've got to work hard. That is the fundamentals of this club. They're good footballers, and I've got to make sure they're ready for that. He went on to say, the players have been really positive this week. They have been great in training, worked really hard, good attitude, and everybody is in really good spirits, which obviously is very good to hear. Let's give you the match stats. Aberdeen are unbeaten in the last 5 meetings with Ross County, winning each of their last 3 league games against the Staggies. Aberdeen are winless in each of their last 6 home league games. Bojan Majowski has been directly involved in 5 goals and 2 league appearances against Ross County this season, in 3 goals and 2 assists. The referee is Kevin Clancy, and on VAR duty is Stephen Kirkland. There we go. Right, I've just got one last thing to drag in. Now that I've got room on the timeline, this is the last thing that goes in. There we go. Right, so I'm now going to open up your thoughts, which you've left on Twitter and Facebook today. So thank you very much, as always, for getting in touch. Just let me, there it is, and I shall bring that down. There we go. Okay, let's start opening these comments. Right, so we shall start with David Scott. Hi, David. Huge game tomorrow. Just hoping the players can give us a big performance. It would be a big lift for everyone. I reckon going forward, hopefully by next week, the new manager will be in the dugout. Excuse me. I need to get my glasses. There we go. Right, Gavin Bush has said, like Alan Burrows said yesterday, every game is huge at Aberdeen, regardless of who we play. Get the 3 points tomorrow and on to the next one. Derek Griffiths has said, we need to put the new manager thinking to one side and concentrate on beating Ross County. It's one big, massive game. Who would have thought it at the start of the season? County will be stubborn to break down, but we should get the job done. Patrick Doherty has said, massive match for the club tomorrow and every game thereafter. We simply should not be in this position. The FMB needs to take a good look at themselves. If it's true what Barry said about only having a squad of 14 players to choose from, then it's got to be time for Stephen Gunn to go. Let's get behind the boys, sing loud, sing proud, stand free. John Bethel has said, we'll win tomorrow. In fact, I think we'll get at least 7 points from our 3 pre-split games. The manager thing has been handled poorly, over-adventurous with their communication, combined with unrealistic expectation from some fans on the level of detail, e.g. comms on status of live candidates during an active confidential recruitment process. Better to wait until it's concluded and they have the right appointment. John finishes off by saying, Leven seems a safe pair of hands in the interim, so let's get behind them. David Gold has said it's not necessarily a bad thing that we haven't appointed a manager yet. The players have the familiarities of working with Leven and will be less upheaval ahead of this massive game. I think we'll see a similar lineup to the Motherwell match. He says, I still think we're waiting on a European manager to finish off his business elsewhere in terms of the new managerial appointment. Johnny Wilson has said, huge game this, nothing less than 100% effort from the lads, and it's 3 in the bag. Remember lads, new gaffer will be watching, I hope. Duncan Shand has said, have a confidence about tomorrow to get the job done, and glad Burrows has come out and said something. At least we are happy with Leven until the FMB say they get the right appointment. Malcolm Park, I'm doing absolutely fine, Malcolm, thank you. Big game this one, but feeling positive after hearing Leven say we don't suit long balls. Get the ball down and play. 3-1 to the Dandies tomorrow. Majowski with 2, Phillips with 1. Come on, you Reds. Let's get behind them from start to finish. Martin Smith has said, hope you're coping with the stress of this, buddy. Just about, mate. Massive game tomorrow. Hope for the same performance as Motherwell, but County will be up for a fight and will try doubly hard, so a good, fast start is needed. We can't ease our way into this game. I'd go with the same team as the last game. Embarrassed about the manager's statements and lack of strategic planning. Nothing else to say apart from, come on, you Reds. Ian Barkley has said a couple of wins on the board and we'll be okay. Let's try to get everyone on the same page and get the feel-good factor starting again after we roll our eggs. Happy Easter and hope you're feeling a lot better now. We wins against County and Livy would be perfect tonic for the semi. Gavin Goodbrand has said, it's a big game, must win. If what I'm hearing is right, if we can distance ourselves from a playoff place, a manager who turned us down originally may reconsider. We're scared taking over a team that could get relegated. You see, just touching on that point, obviously there's a lot of talk on social media about what has happened and why it's taken so long. Again, just like what I said at the top of the show, I did start to wonder if people that the board had approached, their initial targets, had actually turned us down. And that is why the process is taking longer, because they're obviously having to go to maybe plan B. I don't know. As I said, I'm just wondering. So there was a lot of talk, particularly online, about the candidate that they really wanted might have turned us down because of the fear of relegation. But, Alan Burrows did say in that interview that he gave to Malcolm, he said, and I quote, "We are still hopeful the person we have earmarked and the person we have identified is someone we can appoint to the Aberdeen manager's role very, very soon." So obviously they've got a target, and I'm guessing a number one target who they're going after. So as we keep saying, let's wait and see. Gordon Ritchie has said, "Hi all, important game, 3 points a must. I need a new manager in as soon as possible to assess the squad." Scott Farquhar has said, "Biggest game of the season tomorrow, must win." He reckons that a lot of the players are uncertain about their futures, and it could be playing at the back of their minds, which adds to the pressure. Hopefully we can pull the stops tomorrow, regardless of how an ugly performance it might be. Edwin Milner said, don't think this Don't think the mess is cleared up yet. It would be interesting if this fiasco was in the Central Belt. There would be a riot, he says. Alistair Davidson has said, big 3 points needed. Just don't lose this one. Ian MacArthur, there will be a red-hot atmosphere and the Dons have the players to win this crunchiest of crunch games. It's do or die now. My prediction, 2-0 to the Dons with a double from Bojan. Phil Hunter has said, hope Leven tells him to play with a bit of freedom and not to be all nerves jangling, especially in defence. Rob A. Clark's come on and said, well, wasn't that an excellent international break? Not. All the hype and build-up, and we're still waiting on a new manager. Anyway, tomorrow is a match in my mind more important than the Cup semi-final. Win and start looking up. Lose, and I think we're at least heading for the playoffs. Barry Strachan has said, massive game for the Dandies and a must-win game. Need to keep pushing after the Motherwell game and kick on. Put everything behind us for now and get behind the team and row on for the 3 points. I think a positive, good win by 2 or 3 goals tomorrow with Bojan back in the goals. Wasn't it good to see him scoring on international duty as well? Right, so I'll get back to your comments, but I just wanted to chuck in a couple of other bits and pieces for you. Stop whacking the mic, Ali. Deary me. So, if you can't get to the game tomorrow, this is Dolly Digital's front cover of Red Matchday. And as always, isn't it absolutely superb? Lots to enjoy in the programme as always. The award-winning programme, if you're not going to the game, it can always be picked up and you can order the programme online. Right, I want to say a quick hello to my pals at the Lewis and Harris Dons Supporters Club. They are on their way to Aberdeen to watch the game at Pittodrie, all the way from the Western Isles. An absolutely phenomenal effort, as always. And there are 29 of them going for the game. They're going into the club before and after the game. And after, they're going to present their Player of the Year award to Bojan Majowski. So guys, continue your safe travels and I hope you have a memorable weekend. So what's the weather going to be like for you? It's actually going to be quite pleasant. They're expecting sunny spells at kick-off with the temperatures reaching 9 degrees at 3 o'clock. The high will be 10. They're expecting the wind to be normal with the low at 2 degrees. Who likes their history? Today, as in the 29th of March, Aberdeen goalkeeper Ross Doohan was born. Ross joined Aberdeen in the summer of 2023. He's made just one first-team appearance so far. And on this day, in 1954, former Aberdeen striker Walker McCall was born. In 2 spells with the club, he played 63 games, scoring 23 goals. Walker celebrates his 70th birthday today. What a great guy. An excellent target man. And is now an ambassador for the football club and does his duties in and around the hospitality suites at Pittodrie. So Walker, have a fantastic birthday. Let's get back to your comments. I'll need those again. Right, let's have a wee look. So Keith Whelan has said, no problem, 0-0 at half-time, 3-0 at full-time. Nothing to worry about. So many people seem to think it's between us and County for the playoff spot. They don't even notice St Johnstone are below us as well, and Motherwell just 1 win ahead of us. He also says, full marks to the board for telling us what's happening and the amount of effort they're putting in to get the new manager right this time. He says, can't have any complaints about what they're trying to do. Cameron Young has said, must-win game tomorrow against the Staggies, with the fact that Leven is in charge for this one again. Hopefully come away with 3 points and up the table if other teams in and around us drop points. Scott Bowie said, if we can continue the good work that was shown in the Motherwell game, then I can't see anything other than a victory for us. Football on the ground, let our better players control the game more. We have really good passes in the team, which due to one thing or another, they've not been able to show, instead of the aimless hoofball which has been played most of the season. Scott is predicting a 3-1 win for the Dons. Okay. John Grant has said, huge game for the Dons. I think I would go with the same team against Motherwell, but Milne instead of Devlin. Hopefully Ruby isn't too far off fitness either. We've got to take our chances though and not rely on the defence. Hopefully the guys can play a bit with confidence and an early goal would help. I don't know if you saw the picture online today, but Ruby is back in training, which is great news. Don Morrison said, massive game tomorrow. Hopefully kick on from the good result at Motherwell. I'm quietly confident we shall get the win to put further distance between us and County. And finally on Facebook, Stuart Cleary said, big crowd expected again. We now need the players to show us what they can do for our great club with the remaining games. And 3 points tomorrow, followed by another 6 points against Livy and Dundee. And thank you for your message. I'm doing absolutely fine, 100% better. I've got my next surgery booked in for the 25th of April. So in about a month's time, I go back in to have more surgery to do what is basically called a reversal. So hopefully all things will go well and I'll be fighting fit again. And I might even pull my boots on again in about 2 months' time. That's the aim. Pull my boots on, get out in the garden, kick about with the boys, as in the kids. Right, let's quickly have a look at Twitter, see what they've been saying on there. So Can't Be Bothered has said, big game, and would hope we have the players to win it. Don't think we can appoint our chosen target as manager due to our Premiership status not being guaranteed. That's so many people think that, right? Seems to be the general consensus among the fan base. Wayno DJ has said, this shouldn't be, but is, however, a massive, massive game for us. I feel more comfortable with Leven in charge than an uninspiring appointment. Shocked that we don't have a new manager in place. Makes the club look amateurish. I personally would have wanted Jimmy Tellin. Baz has kept his reply very simple. Short and sweet, must win. Slocky Dave has said, same as the Motherwell game, please, and we should be fine. On the manager, I want someone that we haven't been expecting. Michael O'Neill, etc. are just meh. So that was all that came in on there, on X, Twitter, whatever. So on the managerial front, it's been quite interesting, hasn't it? Just to finish off. So did you read what the manager of Rijeka said, that he would want to go to a club that is 10 times the size of Aberdeen? He said absolutely zero chance that he would go to Aberdeen, no contact from the club whatsoever. Charming. Michael O'Neill I thought was quite an interesting one. You know, initially distanced himself, then kind of put his name back in the hat, kind of, and then distanced himself again in his post-match press conference after the Scotland game. You know, when he was asked if he'd be back at Hampden as the Aberdeen manager, and he said he would not. He would only be back at Hampden to watch the Scottish Cup semi-final. So he's distanced himself again from the job. So yeah, we just continue to wait. Right, guys, we are done. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed the show as always. I'll be back on Sunday evening. We'll probably do a live show on Sunday evening to review the Ross County game. I'll be on the big Saturday football show tomorrow on North Sound 1 between 2 and 6. I'll be giving live updates from my studio here in Germany. So if you're out and about doing whatever, you can't get to the game and you want to know what's going on, we are your source to be able to do that. Football, music, laughter, silly games, banter. You'll really, really enjoy it. Come and have a listen, because honestly, you'll really enjoy it. Don't forget, if you've enjoyed today's show, push the old like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd be thrilled if you would please consider it. We are getting closer to 3,400, and then we can kick on to 3,500, and then who knows how big we can get. Guys, have a fantastic Easter weekend. Good luck to the lads tomorrow. Same as Motherwell would be great. Show no fear. It's a huge game. Put that gap between yourselves and Ross County. It will breed confidence, and then you just never know how far you can go. Stand free.